Hey, Doug Upstone here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, and it's Tuesday, which means we're going to cover some college football. We're going to look at the betting trends and the line moves so far. Last week, if you followed the betting trends, they did quite well. They went 12-8. Very good. And if you have to go to the website to find this, though, but I have the percentages also of the what people are betting on. Now I talk about them here, but I have the final ones at the website for when I do the article or when I do the videos, excuse me, over the weekend. And last week those were a sharp 14-6, so those were really good. So whatever direction the public was saying to go, they were correct. Personally, I didn't do quite as well on those, but you know what? That's going to happen in terms of the free picks. We're still 240 and 199, okay, on free picks. So that's still very strong. We'll see if we can improve upon that and get this going. Speaking of getting something going, Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, $39.99 a month, gives you wise guys plays, all kinds of trends, some incredible systems, both in season now that we have some data, and then also my super systems. So we have a lot going on there, plus all my picks, $39.99 a month. Best value that there is, and you can also try it out, $7 for 7 days. Take a look at it, see if you like it. If you want to, then you can continue a membership from there. Okay, so real simple. Hey, let's get to some college football, shall we? Kansas is going to be at Ohio U, and the total on this one has gone from 59 all the way down to 52, despite the fact that between the two teams, they're 4-0 over thus far in the season. Now, Ohio U will not have all of their top players offensively, and they didn't have basically the same players against Purdue last Friday, I believe it was. So I'm not really sure if that's that big of a deal. I look at these two offenses. I think they're capable of scoring 52 points, and I know the defenses are certainly capable of giving up that many points. So at this time, I would probably be leaning towards an over the 52 as opposed to going under. 76% of the betting public right now is on the over. Next up, Wisconsin against BYU. BYU has played 3 good teams and hasn't done much against any of them. Actually had a winner against them with Utah on Saturday, and we had it on the free play here as well. So from that standpoint, they're just not getting it done. I mean, their offense is slow. Their defense is slow. They have no playmakers on the perimeter. Offensive line cannot generate anything, kind of a push to help the running game. Wisconsin, still fully loaded. They seem to have all the components, and with that, the Badgers have jumped from -13 all the way up to -17. Logically, I agree with that, especially when I found out after writing this article and just before doing this video that BYU has a total of 32 first downs in 3 games. Wow, that's terrible. So from that standpoint, but you know what? Maybe I'm thinking old school here or whatever, but BYU, they're still at home, 17 points. That's a lot of points. 62% of the people right now are on the Wisconsin Badgers. Next up, North Texas is at Iowa, which is going to be on ESPN2 in the afternoon. Now, if this was 10 years ago, this would be a lock, okay, for Iowa. I mean, that's how they used to roll. I mean, they play bad teams with Kirk Ferentz as coach. They blow them out time and time again. Not anymore, though. Those days are gone. And so with this, Iowa's only 13-24, coming off 2 straight wins, playing at home, not getting the job done. Plus the fact they got Penn State coming into Iowa City next week. Could be a flat spot for them off of Iowa State and before Penn State. 68% of the people are on Iowa at the present time. Army is going to be next. That's going to be on Fox to play Ohio State. Now the Buckeyes were brutal last week. Simple as that. They were outplayed, out everything against Oklahoma. It was not pretty one-sided. It was one-sided. The total on this one has gone from 51 to 53, with the idea, presumably, that the Ohio State offense will do a better job against the Black Knights of the Hudson as opposed to the Oklahoma Sooners defense. So I would think that's the number one reason for the total to go up. Plus, I have a guarantee for you. I guarantee you that Ohio State's 130th pass defense, last in the entire FBS, will improve this week because they're playing against Army's option offense. And Army, at best, will probably throw the ball 10 times compared to usually 6 when normally play because they're going to go nuts going up against the Ohio State secondary. No. So there's my guarantee. Ohio State's pass defense will be better this week. All right? 60% of the people are on the over on that game. Oregon State's going to play Washington State, and that's going to be on the Pac-10 network, I think around 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 West Coast time. And in that one, Oregon State gotten pummeled twice. They were 26.5-point favorite at home against Portland State, beat them by 3. Okay? They're a terrible team. They might be the worst team in the Pac-12, probably are. Washington State was lucky to win last week. I stayed up to the very end of the triple overtime to watch it, even though I had no personal investment in the game. It just was an entertaining game and couldn't believe that Boise State was blowing it in the fourth quarter, but they did. Washington State was lucky. Bettors definitely are on Washington State, -17 to -21.5. The Beavers are supposed to be eager, right? Eager Beavers, but as on the September road, 12-27, okay, is what their record is recently. Probably have to think that's going to be the way to go. 57% of the people are on the Cougars of Washington State. Next up, Idaho against Western Michigan. In this one, the Western Michigan has gone from -16.5 up to -20. Here's the reason, or here's the logic behind it. It doesn't always work out this way, but at least in theory it makes sense. UNLV beats Howard, is beaten by Howard. Idaho is up. They play Idaho next. They beat Idaho by 26. Idaho's on the road, okay, to play Western Michigan. Pretty simple, right? So from that standpoint, it'd be wonderful if everything always worked out like that, of course. But we know that from the betting perspective, that is not necessarily the case. Anyways, so that's the reason Western Michigan, I think, has a wonderful opportunity here to get that offensive gear. It struggled some playing against better competition. It is not the same team they had last year and does not have the same players, but here's a good opportunity. The other thing that surprises me about this is that only 54% of the people are on Western Michigan thus far. I can only imagine that's going to go up, even though the spread is higher. Finally, Kansas State is going to play against Vandy, 2 undefeated teams who, even though they haven't played stiff competition, they've only combined given up 36 points. Okay, that's 9 points per game total. I mean, so they've been terrific defensively, and the total on this one has gone from 50.5 down to 48.5. Again, this seems logical, but you know what? I think in this game, I think there will be points scored. Both offenses are average to above. Kansas State having the better offense and playing against some real competition, okay, that somebody that can actually move the ball. I can't imagine a score being less than 27-24 in this one, so I'm probably going to look at the under, but 81% of the people betting right now are on the under. So just keep that in mind. Hey, this is Doug Upstone for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the NFL because as of right now, my friends, I am out.